up, fellas? We are live at 4 Pick Central on the Barstool Sportsbook YouTube channel. I am hosting today. I'm Ben Mintz, Barstool Mincy, back in the Barstool office. Took the red-eye flight from New Orleans. A little hurting from that 6 a.m.er. Joined, as always, by our good friend Marty Mush, who is a man that is everywhere. Marty, how are you, man?
How we doing, Mincy? How we doing? How is New Orleans?
Oh, man, you saw a lot of it. I thought it was spectacular. I thought everything, I think we got great weather, and that was a big part of it. But everybody I talked to with Barstool seemed like they had a really, really good time. And, there's a bunch of stuff to get into it with it. Like, obviously, the Superdome is not one of these billion-dollar new NFL stadiums or anything like that. But it's just right there in the middle of everything. And so it's so fun for the fan experience to not have to do the go 40 minutes to the suburbs like you have to in so many other places in America. So in New Orleans, if you stay in the French Quarter, you walk 5-10 minutes to the Dome, you go to the bars, you see music, you see all the restaurants, everybody's together, and it's just awesome for those big events.
No, I agree, because I thought the stadium was – so the actual stadium like the main scoreboard I thought was small.
Yeah.
That thing on the side is sick. I thought the venue was fine. Like, I didn't have any problem with that. I did like that you can walk home. Yeah,
that's after. My thing. I think you sacrifice some amenities just for convenience.
Yeah, to go to Yankee Stadium, I have to it's horrible to get to there. But New Orleans in itself. So I'm not like you said, I told you this, Bourbon Street, even I'm
not a Bourbon Street
I'm
guy,
younger, and it was a lot. I mean, I think if you know what you're going into, I didn't think I knew exactly what I was getting into. It is fucking nuts. It is it's a different country. I don't understand how there's just no rules.
No, it's just a big melting pot of
I don't know how there's cops. The cops are there. People throwing up everywhere, but.
PD, not our problem, dude.
Yeah, pretty much. But it was fun. I'm not saying it's disgusting, but it's like Times Square. It's like Nashville's fucking thing. It's like everyone's. But where we were, I think Dave explained it pretty well. Where we were, for the hotel,
warehouse
it was
awesome.
Fucking awesome. All the bars outdoor, there are balconies in the bar, and just like that, you can walk around drinking everywhere. I love New Orleans. My first time, it was fantastic. And Hogs for a Cause. So I'll be honest, I barely even stayed at our tent. I was walking around.
Yeah, just checking it out.
Holy sh! I had pulled pork on a glazed donut. I had a fried ball with mac and cheese and pulled pork and all this. But everyone was so nice. They were pulling me into their tents.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, try this. And it was fun. I almost wanted to throw up after because I was so full, but it was a very fun event.
What's ironic with that is Dave was saying there wasn't enough food out there Friday.
Yeah.
And he was hungry. I was like, man, I guess you just didn't look around.
I think because at our tent.
We sold out of food at 7:20.
Yeah, you sold out before we got there, so I think that's what he was saying because he didn't walk around, I don't think, too much because.
Yeah, he didn't want to get mobbed.
Yeah, he's getting mobbed and everything. But New Orleans was besides Duke.
Yeah, and that was a tough, man. I didn't get to see, I was doing the Hogs Award ceremony, so I can't really comment on it. But everything I heard was that it was one of the best games of all time, back and forth.
Yeah, it was. It was a really good game. I mean, I've talked about it 40 times, but it's it was one of the worst. I stayed in the stadium for 30 minutes after by myself with Rico.
Yeah,
just sat there. It was because they could have won the game. They fucking fucked up with free throws. UNC played. Caleb Love had 29 points, whatever. But it was to even be a part of it was pretty cool. I'll never forget that, even though it sucked. But New Orleans in a whole was fucking awesome.
Did you feel better seeing Carolina blow that lead in the title? How much? I'm about to say that had to at least make you feel better.
If they won the championship, it was.
And they also blew it in very gut-wrenching fashion,
yes,
blowing the biggest lead in title game history.
Up 15. I knew Kansas was going to come back, but Kansas was the better team, and thank God they didn't win. It still sucks because it was they ruined us with the last 2 games of them. They beat them, so. But college basketball's over. It's baseball time.
Yeah, no, that's what I was saying on the video hyping the show today. It's this is the winds of change time in the year. You build so much to the Final Four, and when I planned my year, when that app launched in Louisiana, everything I had planned was from the AFC Championship through the Final Four, and that was my 3-month stretch. And now, Major League Baseball, first pitch tomorrow. Masters tomorrow. I'm about to crank into the college baseball next couple of months. Really big. It's just like a totally huge shift for everybody. But, that's not a bad thing. That's kind of, Marty, I mean, I know you're in here every day. You're on like 3 shows talking about sports. Change is good because it doesn't get, keeps it from being monotonous. And
Yes.
Are you getting, I saw the first short porch, some optimism for the Yanks?
Yeah, so college basketball's over. Shout out everyone that listened to Bench Mob. It was a fucking long season, but it's over, but now it's baseball. Yeah, so Yankee fans I said we need to come together as the Goombats, the assholes, we're going to win 28 World Series this year. Like, just start like that, our over-under is 91.5. That's a lot of games to
especially
win.
in that tough-ass division.
Yeah.
Division's
the toughest.
Other than the Orioles, everybody's good.
Yeah. So we said it. We can have 4 teams make the playoffs this year with all the wild cards. The pitching's the only thing you got to worry about, but the rest, the Yankees got TJ. Did they cancel the game already?
I think so, yeah.
I believe it. I felt like coming back today, like the weather was just so nice in the south, and I get back and it's just like cold and rainy. I'm just like, welcome back to New Jersey,
I forgot it was cold because it was the weather in New Orleans too was like perfect. It wasn't even that hot. It was a little breezy. But yeah, baseball's back. I can't fucking wait. It's also it's more relaxing because there's so many games. Like the first 20 games, you're like, all right, let's get back into it. Doesn't fucking matter right away. But yeah, it's gonna be a lot. I'm glad it's kind of slowing down a little bit. And
y'all been going hard. Bench Mob was y'all got hit with that crossover football basketball season in November and December, which is like really, really intense. And so now, I mean, you're still going to be really busy. You always are at Barstool, but at least it's going to be a touch more laid back to start.
Yeah. Also, sorry to jump around.
No, you're good. I got a whole bunch of stuff today.
Lakers
let's bag on the Lakers because that was one of my main things because there's all kinds of just animosity between Pelicans and Lakers out of New Orleans from the Anthony Davis trade when he forced himself out to get there. And I'm enjoying pissing on their grave today. Dude, how can you, dude, they're all in. Everybody's old as dirt on that team, and they're 31-48. The Pelicans got a top 10 pick out of them now, too.
Oh, shit.
The Pelicans got their first-round picks forever off that AD trade. They got like 5 of them. And
so the funny thing was that tweet of LeBron that's going viral again. Now, like, keep talking about us, our age, keep talking about all this stuff. So, and what I was saying is, when you have LeBron and LeBron didn't play a lot, right?
No, his ankle's been messed up lately. He's been out. He's been out lately.
I was like, they could win 40 games, like just those two together. But Russell Westbrook is one of the worst to ever do it. He just sucks.
Well, he was so good, but he was like so reliant on his explosiveness and his athleticism, and that's kind of faded. What's up? What's up, Big Ev? I feel Ev's pain on this because, I mean, I got stuck in traffic for like an hour and a half coming from the airport because of this rain. And I feel like it got you too today. How are you, bud?
It was just an Uber ride from hell. He took a million bad turns.
I did the same.
It's never happened to me before.
I left at 10 o'clock. I got here at 11:12.
He took so many wrong turns, but I'm giddy because I walked into Russell Westbrook slander, and I couldn't be happier about it.
Yeah, we're enjoying. We're taking.
I've said this on the show. Like, I would need to go back and get like receipts. I have been out on Westbrook since like 2011. Like, I've been out on him so long. I don't think I've been more right about anything than I have about Russell Westbrook in my life.
What he's very, 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 very athletic. But a bad basketball player.
He's the king stat stuffer. I have a theory that I came up with like 2 years ago that he'd be like the best player ever if he just never shot the ball more than like 10 feet from the basket.
Fact.
I think that's a very fair theory because his shooting efficiency.
But the problem I always had with him, it's a few things. The one that when I really, really was like, this guy will never win was all those runs in OKC where there'd be so many games where they're in tight games in the playoffs and like KD is standing there on the wing. He doesn't even get the ball. And Westbrook just coming up the court, either shooting an awful shot brick, turnover. He just plays selfish. He's just extremely selfish. It's still to me just stunning that LeBron legitimately picked him over a guy like DeRozan. Like, you can say hindsight's 2020, bullshit. Like, anybody with a brain would have said that a year ago. Like, I can't fathom it. Like, LeBron knows basketball better than that. I don't know if he's at a point in his career where he just is like, I don't want to say over it. Like, he's obviously not over it, but it seems to me like he's like half checked out. And
I don't think. Yeah, what you just said, like when it's like because DeRozan's better than Westbrook.
Because DeRozan's had like a career year, but even if he had like a normal year that he had over the last like 10 years,
DeRozan's been like just a good basketball player.
He can actually shoot.
You also know that Russell Westbrook doesn't fit in with two guys that also need the ball. Like
Russell Westbrook doesn't fit in with any team that has intentions of winning championships.
He arguably has been on the best teams of all time.
Yes, and they can't win because he's a cancer to your basketball team.
I want to bag on.
He will just force bad shots. He will turn the ball over. He will keep the ball out of your best playmaker's hands at all times.
I want to jump in on the parade of bagging on people in street clothes, Anthony Davis, because when LeBron's been out, have you seen the record when AD plays and LeBron doesn't play? It's like 2-18 or something. I mean, he
definitely besides obviously the bubble year, he's kind of been he's been tough. I mean, he definitely hasn't.
He's awesome when he plays, but he's always hurt. Like I said, I mean, his nickname's street clothes for a reason. And I mean, obviously, I'm bitter because the New Orleans thing and the way he forced himself out, but. I don't know. His attitude and stuff.
I think you're a better team right now.
Yeah, and we got the top 10 pick from them.
That's what I'm saying.
You're going to have their picks forever.
It's crazy the way that can work out. Like, you could, see, they got a championship out of it, which people, like.
But it was, like, weird. I mean, it counts. I'm not saying it doesn't, but the bubble thing was weird.
A lot of people will. I mean, they got the rings for it, so it's kind of.
No, it counts. It counts. But
no, I mean, it's crazy that you can go like that. Like, you kind of, like, almost long-term, you could potentially say you won the trade and you're a better team, like, in the midst of kind of seeing how the trade is still going on.
Yeah, and the Pels clinched the play-in spot, so it's going to be Pels and Spurs or the 9-10 play-in spot. The only thing up for grabs now is will the game be in New Orleans or San Antonio. I'm stoked. The C.J. McCollum thing's been great because, like, the NBA thing, nobody wants to come to New Orleans like a lot of people don't. And McCollum in that trade just instantly embraced it. He's making $30 million a year, and he saw it as an opportunity. And so I'm just glad to see that attitude. On the east side, the Nets are up to the 8th seed. I know if y'all saw that last night. A big win. They're playing in MSG tonight as a 5-point favorite. They're only like plus 320 to win the East still just because of all the talent on their team. Do y'all think that's fair?
Yeah, I do, because if they get in, they're so dangerous. And the thing with the top of the East is like the one basically in the East, like 1 to like 4 or 5 is separated by like 2, 3, 4 games.
Doesn't it keep switching all the time?
Like they could like things like the Bulls are kind of playing themselves out of it. The Heat a little bit too, but I mean they could end up getting like.
You're telling me it could be the Celtics, Nets, like first round.
That's what I'm saying. Like you could make an argument that they could be the 2 most dangerous teams.
You don't want to be the 1 seed that's playing the Nets.
Well, that's the point. That's the
dude.
Like you.
Kyrie had 40-something last night, looking good.
Yeah, they're looking great. So. I think Rico told me this. I don't know who told. Rico's the king of someone telling him something and then him saying it was his. Where NBA teams like kind of that were out of the playoffs or in it already, like kind of playing their B teams against the Spurs because they wanted to get the Lakers out. Did you hear this?
I didn't hear that.
I've heard nothing.
I feel like everybody just wants to body bag the Lakers. I don't see how anybody.
That's what I'm saying. They wanted to like not the B teams of the Spurs, but just like not play the hardest against the Spurs.
They did smoke the Nuggets last night,
which is like
in Denver.
Yeah, which is like something to think about.
I'm looking at
they were hot though.
I'm looking at odds to win the NBA title right now, which is interesting. So the Suns are now 63-15. I mean, what a and Paul was out for like 6 or 7 weeks, and they still won 60-something games. And I know it felt like last year they got all the finals. Are we headed for a Suns-Bucks rematch? Is that what y'all think? I kind of feel that way.
Potentially. If I had a gun to my head, take one team right now to win, I think I would take the Bucks. I think I just trust them the most right now.
Celtics are hot though, no?
They are.
Celtics are 10. So right now, Phoenix plus 275, Bucks 5-1, Brooklyn 8-1, Golden State 9-1, Boston 10-1, Heat 10-1, Philly 11-1, and Memphis 16-1. I know some people that have Memphis at like 200-1 too.
So the Celtics, I mean the Sixers are a joke, huh? They fell apart.
I think Sixers fans. I think it's fell apart. Might be strong. I think Sixers fans got a little excited after like 2 games.
Because of Harden.
Yeah, they've had some bad losses. Like they I know I faded them and they end up losing outright. They lost the Pistons at home like the other day. Like they've had some. Where they had like a decent lead, they've had some bad losses.
2 years, the Pistons gonna be gross.
Yeah, they're definitely building something.
Not for this whole run they've been on.
Cunningham, yeah.
They in their last 19 games as dogs, they're 17-0-2 against the spread. I've been on for a good portion of it. I've been blindly just taking them as dogs, and they're on the card tonight.
I'm betting them tonight too.
They're at home. They're catching 8.5 to the Mavericks.
Awesome. Well, looking around rest of the NBA stuff, any other teams, like what do you think about Golden State going in? They were so hot early in the year. Do you think they can turn it up to the playoffs? Or
I think just Curry being out is like such a problem.
He's out for that long?
He's out. I think he's out to the rest of the regular season. I think they pretty much said like hopefully playoffs.
Yeah, well, if they're 9-1 to win it all, they got to think he's playing in the playoffs.
I think it's more like a little like cautionary, like maybe if the playoffs started like tomorrow, like or like a week, like maybe he'd play, which I guess they kind of do start pretty soon. But
yeah, so I think there's 4 games left in the season. So NBA playoffs are going to be huge. We were talking with Marty and I started this before you came in. It's like what an interesting like winds have changed now. Like college basketball has dominated everything for a while. Now we have Major League Baseball starting tomorrow. Yep. We got the Masters starting tomorrow.
Yep.
And I know none of us are anything like the foreplay guys or anything like that. But I went ahead and I don't know if y'all took a look at any odds or anything yet. I'm a little biased on it because I'm cheering hard for Sam Burns because I know him because he's from Louisiana. He's gone from 40-1 to 35-1. The play on him, I don't know if he can win it, even though he's been winning a lot lately. I like him 7-1 to top 5 because he's always in the mix. He's one of those dudes that's just always there. And so I would rather take that than 35-1 to win.
I think because I tweeted the other day that I took Tiger.
What'd you get, 50-1?
I got 6. I took him before he said I'm gonna play before anything. When they were just saying that he felt good, I took him after. I think it was Fred Couple said he looked great in the practice round.
He ain't gonna play think with Tiger Woods. He's a competitor. He ain't playing if he doesn't think he can compete.
That's what I'm saying.
To say about Tiger.
What do you have to say, Marty Bush?
So, growing up, obviously, like watching him was the coolest thing in the world. Like that's something. He's one of the best athletes ever to live, best golfer ever to live. I'm sick of the whole hyping him up because he's just coming back again. He's done it 3 times, and it's also like he was on drugs driving.
Yeah, no, it's not great.
It's not great where it's like let's just pull it back a little.
Well, this one's different.
But he won. It's one thing, but he came back and he won the damn thing.
1,000%. And it's not. It's just more like what a hero, he's coming back to play. It's like, well,
see, for me, I don't take it as like the foreplay guys are like the hero talk. I'm more just here for like the story.
Well, no, you're betting.
Like I bet Tiger because
you care more about the Masters because he's playing, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Oh no, I do too.
And
that's why I'm not taking it away.
I'm not letting him win without me profiting on it.
If you get 60-1 on Tiger Woods, you're always going to.
I was like, and then I took him to make the cut at like plus 100.
Looking at that, what are odds? I'm trying to look through our.
But I got a great number because literally, right now he's like 35-1 to win all.
What are his odds to make or miss the cut?
I think I got yesterday plus 100. I'm pretty sure.
He's like even money
that he would make the cut.
Okay.
And I was seeing. I always check like the competitors' lines to see where we're at. And a lot of the other ones, I was even seeing it was like minus money to make the cut. But I think that could have changed because he's 35-1 now to win it on our book. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, he's 30. I'm seeing 35. Him and Sam Burns are 35. I'm going through it. John Ron, Justin Thomas, 11-1. Scotty Scheffler all the way up to 14-1. He's number 1 in the world right now. Victor Hovland, DJ, and Rory, and Cameron Smith, who just won the Players Championship, 16-1. I'm looking at DJ a little bit. I think people are forgetting about him here. All this Tiger talk and all these other young guys that are coming up. I feel like DJ 16-1 might have some value here. I'm also I like Victor Hovland, but 16-1 is just not a good it's a bad price.
Yeah, I like kind of taking the long shots and then kind of seeing where you're at like day 2, day 3. Like maybe you see a nice like cash out option, or if you want to see. I always say that. I know I'll end up just riding it out if they're like really in the mix.
I'm a big bet on Saturday guy. Like
that's what I was gonna say.
I don't
next.
fuck with the cut.
I'll and then if there's a guy who I think's like a few strokes back
that can make a move,
a good number on him, like I'll try to take some action on him. I think I did that with Tiger the last time. Like I took him like Saturday at like maybe like 10-1 or something like that, and he came back and won.
I got flamed on Twitter a little bit for this. I actually had tickets to the Masters this weekend, but like I don't think people realize like part of my traveling and scheming is like maneuvering free places to stay and keeping it cheap. It's such a pain in the ass to get to Augusta.
I can imagine.
You have to rent a car. There is nowhere to stay. Everything's over $1,000 a night. Like I can get Barstool to throw down on some stuff, but I ain't asking that. And also you can't have your cell phone on the course.
Oh, that's right.
So so much of Barstool, what we do is those in the moment videos. Like you can't do that.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, I'd like to go again. I've been twice. I went in 01 and 04 when Mickelson won, but it was hard to say no. But it had
the best thing about golf though is that you can get Brooks Koepka at plus 2,000.
Because he never does anything but majors, and then you get great prices on him. Are you going to take him?
2,200. I'm definitely just going to put flyers on all these, which is big names.
Spieth always plays great at the Masters. Spieth plays so good at Augusta.
Even that fucking guy, because he follows me on Instagram, Will Zalatoris.
He got second last year.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, I'm fucking make sure if he still follows me, I will. Yep, he follows me. I don't follow him. Follow back.
I almost feel like there may be some value in some of those bigger guys because the young guys, the guys that have been so hot, odds are bet down so much. Like Cam Smith, 16-1, because he just won the Players. How hot Scheffler is. I almost feel like maybe that gives some of the other bigger names more value because everybody's just taking who's been winning lately.
Scotty Scheffler is number 1 in the world.
Yeah,
on fire.
What?
Yeah, him and Sam Burns are rooming together and good friends and playing together and stuff at practice rounds.
Wow.
I know, it's wild.
I feel like the Masters is one of those tournaments too where I feel like I agree with your sentiments, Mincy, that kind of almost fading the guys who are really hot coming into it. I think the Masters seems to me like one of those tournaments that people have repeated success there. It just seems like guys who have kind of figured out the course, they just keep playing well there. Like Tiger, that was why people were able to get behind Tiger the last time. He's just won it so many times. He understands the course, and even now he's older. He can't hit the long ball the way he used to, but he still was able to just kind of outsmart the course and maneuver the course. He just knows it so well. And that's why people can say whatever. It's I was getting a lot of shit on Twitter being it's a dumb pick. It's a dumb pick. He literally hasn't even played. I'm the guy knows the course. He's won here, 4 or 5 times? Mm-hmm. I'm if you're going to give me 60-1 in the guy, I'll take a shot at him.
I do think the thing on Tiger, too, I reiterate this. I know I said the same thing. I don't like to repeat myself, but he's not the kind of guy that's going to go out there to go out there. That's tight. If he's playing, he thinks I don't know if he knows he can win, but he thinks he can compete.
I think he genuinely believes he can win. When the reporter asked him the question the other day and he didn't hesitate, he was I do. He was do you think you can win? He was I do. That was all I needed to see from Tiger Woods. I think he it's what you said. He's not going to play if he doesn't think he can really contend.
Dudes, we need to have a serious chat about your bathroom habits. It's time to quit shitty, scratchy toilet paper and switch to Dude Wipes. Dude Wipes are extra-large flushable wipes made with plant-sourced fibers designed to give your butt a cleaner, more refreshing finish than toilet paper after dropping a deuce. Dude Wipes will change your life. Your butt will thank you, and you'll never look at an empty toilet paper roll the same way again. I actually verify that. We've had them in the office. It's a totally different feeling not having that dryness and chafy chapness. Dude Wipes an amazing product. They also have other great personal care products like Dude Powder and Dude Shower Baby Wipes, perfect for other sticky situations. You can find everything at Amazon or Dude Wipes at Walmart and Target nationwide. So go to dudewipes.com and use code PIX20 for 20% off your entire order. That's PIX20. That's the number 20 for 20% of your entire order off Dude Wipes. It will change your life. All right, we got a bunch of stuff to get into today. Pro baseball opening day tomorrow. I don't know if I can say. Actually, I don't know if to say. I heard y'all are gonna do some. Y'all got some baseball stuff in the works. Can that be talked about or no?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know if it's been announced.
Okay.
I don't think it's some. Me, Carl, and Rico are gonna be doing a twice a week baseball gambling show.
Yeah, Playboy Marty was talking.
Yeah,
about
Playboy Marty's gonna be producing it. I think it's gonna be starting next Tuesday. It's gonna be the first. It's gonna be Tuesday, Thursdays. Give out some picks. We're gonna me, Carl, and Rico are gonna have an exclusive in the sports book every day, with just basically a parlay of hits. We're each gonna pick a guy to get a hit parlayed, and then we're gonna do some other stuff too. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a quick 15-minute show.
It's fun, yeah.
Kind of similar to Money Shots format. We're gonna have some basically a few segments go in there, talk gambling, get picks, in and out. Good baseball talk.
I like it. I'm
excited.
Yeah, I like that personality combo. You, Carl, and Rico. I think that'll be fun together. I enjoy working with Carl.
I'm excited. I think it's gonna be great.
So, talking baseball, opening day. Obviously, the Masters is the huge story this weekend, but it's opening day tomorrow. The Yankees look like they're canceled.
Yeah, it got canceled. That was gonna be the day game too. Well, the Cubs play it too, but that was going to be like a 1 o'clock start. That would have been nice.
I got a sharp baseball guy I've known forever, and he says Detroit over 78.5 wins is the play. I know they're young. They're on the way up.
I love them.
I think that other than the White Sox, that division's kind of open too.
I did like a big deep dive like last week, and they were kind of the team at the time. I tried to early in the year target like teams that are just like that weren't as good last year, who I think like are going to. It's almost like kind of targeting their win totals, but kind of putting it to like the day to day as well. Like just teams that are going to be dogs, I think a lot that are going to have good value, and they were pretty much at the top of the list.
They kind of turned it on at the end of the year, though.
They were really good at the end of last year.
I got to be honest. I know more about it just from watching Castellani's videos every day.
Pretty much.
And, they're like a young team. I knew they were really young on the way up. And I know they got Spencer Torkelson, who's like one of the best prospects, who looks like he made the roster.
They signed Javi Baez.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Erod from the Red Sox. And they got some good young pitching. They just traded for Austin Meadows.
Austin Meadows, that's what I was going to say.
They have a sneaky good lineup and some good pitching. Like I think they're gonna legitimately contend for a playoff spot.
You because you're a Yankee fan, so I watch the Yankees every time they're on, obviously. But since it's on basically every single day, besides once a week, pretty much. Do you watch every other games?
Yeah, I get the MLB package for gambling.
Yeah, I know, but I'm watch like you put it on a different TV or something.
I have 2 TVs, and I'll usually have like the Yankee game on one, and then I'll have like the team I have like my biggest bet on the other, and I'll kind of I have it like on the one where I can flip through all the games. So I kind of just watch the Yankees on like the main TV and just have like flipping back and forth through all the games.
I'll put one usually on the second TV, but I'm usually just like focus on the Yankees, and I'll just look at like my app to see. They need like a baseball, like a daily baseball red zone.
The 100.
I don't know why there is.
How do you not have that?
Is it just
have like they during the NCAA baseball tournament, they have a thing called bases loaded that flips around. They 100% they need that because everybody.
There's so many games.
Everybody likes betting on baseball is fun. Like betting on baseball, I love. One of my favorite things to do in sports gambling is like those 4 and 5 team baseball parlays, money lines. Do the 1.5 thing to get better odds on your favorites. You could throw some stuff together. It's 20, 30 to 1, like it's nothing every day. And I mean, obviously, if you sit in our gambling cave in the office and you have like 6 going, it's fun. But no, I agree. I think that's gonna be fun. I'm gonna be cranking up. Like, obviously, I'm not the biggest MLB guy, but I'm about to be going balls hard at the college the next. I was kind of waiting on the Final Four and the Masters to end, but from now through Omaha in late June, it's about to be a dead sprint on that.
Oh yeah, let's go. I'm excited. I did well in baseball last year. I think that kept me in it more, especially the Yankees last year just so up and down. I feel a little bit better about the Yankees this year because I think everyone's so down on them. I just think that's kind of the way like the world spins. But
under Marty said's 91.5. That's a tough as balls.
I think it's fair. I think it's like
a division other than the Orioles. That division's no joke.
Because this is how I see it. I think people obviously people just want to see the Yankees lose. Where people look at last year as like a total like absolute disaster, which like Yankee standards it was bad. We made the playoffs. Yep. I'm saying people were acting like we went like 70 and 90, like 70 and 92. Yeah. Like we won. What did we win last year? 90 games, 80 high 80s, 90 games. Probably, I think we did win 90 some games.
Oh, we won 90.
That's what I'm saying. Like people were acting, and it's
just the standard. So
it's the problem is that if you're like a rash Yankee fan, you understand that we're just not built to win in the playoffs.
Yeah, it's all metrics and walks and homers and strikeouts.
It's just really frustrating. But this team is going to win a lot of baseball games. It's extremely talented.
We are better than last year.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. I don't think like a lot better, but I do think we are better.
I think Donaldson leading off is going to be awesome. I think that obviously Cole is going to be great again.
Hope so.
It's the question mark is Severino. How is he going to be?
It's the rotation. That's what it's been the last 5 years.
Think about this. Tyone got hurt last year. He pitched fine. Montgomery pitched great. Like their pitching was actually way better than people say last year.
Yeah, last year it was for sure. Like Kluber, when Kluber was healthy, he was really good.
So we'll see how that goes. And I mean, hopefully Hicks comes back healthy. We didn't sign Brett Gardner yet. We did sign Greg Bird, which is very funny to me.
Oh, they get the minor league, they get the AAA deal.
Still funny though that we've been we shit on him for so long. And Rizzo, we have a fucking really good team. I just don't get everyone shut the fuck up. We're gonna be fine. And I think I told Hubs, I told Tommy yesterday. TJ can back me up. I said we gotta be the Goombats, and they said, well, we're rational. I said,
brace the hate.
Rational. Yeah. But if we're 500,
they're just naturally not Goombats.
They're not.
Me and you are more Goombots. They're
yeah.
not Goombots.
Yeah, and
That's just not who they are. They can't pretend to be Goombots.
yeah, I'm
see that I will I don't give a I'll yell 27 championships in your mouth.
Yeah, I will
I
too.
don't give a fuck.
That's 28 this year. I did say I fucked up yesterday, but I'm going full just like I don't give a fuck where the Yankees.
Brace the heel.
Yeah.
Brace the hate. Well,
I'm already doing it like I'm the Duke Yankee fan.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
you got a
are.
target on your back.
gotta-
that.
You know what's funny?
I'm the guy at the game with 2 buttons loose and my chain in there. That's what it is. That's who I am.
You know what was funny? We were talking about it yesterday, which is kind of sad for us. But me and Tommy were like, Barstool fans like don't even know who the Giants fans are in the office because we never had a meaningful stream or anything meaningful game since we've been.
Yeah, while I've been
There's so many.
There's a lot of Giants fans.
While I've been at Barstool, we literally have been bad the entire time I've been here.
Not one time.
We've been actually, I think statistically, we've been the worst team in the NFL since we've been here.
One meaningful game is when
Remember
the
they
Eagles. Remember we played the Eagles with Ingram dropped the ball.
Yep.
Yeah, well,
we had 6 wins.
The one I was gonna say, I really remember streaming the Giants, like really being there, like as a Giants fan. I think it was a Monday night game or Thursday night against the Patriots.
Yes.
And they just shit it. I think we took an early lead. It was early. It was kind of early in the season, and then they just ended up.
They wanted us on stream just to shit on us,
basically. Yeah, and they got that because they beat the shit out of us.
Yeah. So while I was gone, I do want to touch on this because so much happened last week. What did y'all think of the Saints-Eagles trade? The Saints got the 16 and the 19 for the 18, and then mortgaged a lot of their future. On the Eagles side, makes sense because if Hurts doesn't have a great year this year, they need the 2 first-round picks to trade and go up and get another quarterback so they don't have to give them a ton of money. So I get what they're thinking. The Saints thing's interesting because you're in this purgatory spot right now where you don't have Breeze anymore, you don't have Sean Payton anymore, but you've got an elite defense with everybody in their prime. But other than Kamara and Mike Thomas, you have like no weapons at all. So, I mean, I guess you're still in win-now mode, but I don't know that you have the chance to win the Super Bowl.
Well, that's what I was going to ask.
It's a weird. It's 22.
I brought up with Smitty yesterday. We obviously wish you had. We're getting to talk to you about it now. Do you you think it's a quarterback?
I don't. I think
they're trying to just like.
I just think they're trying to like. I think the whole thing is you've got all these guys like Cam Jordan's on the back end of his prime. Demario Davis is on the back end of his prime. You gave Lattimore huge money. You're not in a rebuild spot on the construction of the roster. You're really not that young. And so I think they're just like, screw it. We're going to be the best we can right now. The big question to me is what do you get out of Mike Thomas this year? Because it's been 2 years since he's been good, but he was catching like 130 balls a year for a few years. So if he comes back with Kamara and Jameis, and then and then also right now, Honey Badger, everybody in New Orleans is losing their shit because Matthew's from New Orleans and such a Louisiana legend. He visited the Saints yesterday. Honey Badger spotted at the craps table 7:30 a.m. Monday morning in New Orleans. Throw a dice. What a
legend.
But everybody's losing their minds because Malcolm Jenkins retired and Marcus Williams went to the Ravens. So now there's a hole at safety. But, I mean, if Badger goes to the Saints, everybody's going to get that jersey. That's going to be like the most popular thing ever.
He's the man. That was kind of what I said to somebody yesterday. When I was like, the problem, like you kind of said, it's not a problem. It's a good thing. I was like, the Saints defense is too good. Like if they have if they have no offense, they're still gonna win probably like 7 games.
Yeah,
just because their defense is so good, they'll win games like that. Like they were
started 5 quarterbacks last year.
That's what I'm saying. I was like they were hanging in games with Simeon. I was like, if you're doing that, you can win with pretty much anybody. But I also said like they were also the same team that a few years ago traded all the way up to draft a D lineman, draft Davenport, which that hasn't really worked out.
They traded 2 first-rounders for him.
But I'm saying they're a team that's been willing to like they'll use those big assets. Like they made a big move to get another pick.
They go all in.
They've been willing to do that on non-quarterbacks.
They do it. All they ever do, they always pump the cap problems to later, and then they trade all their picks to move up and get the guy they want. And it's like a strategy that it's frustrating as a fan because if you miss on a draft pick, it screws you. So you have to hit on everyone because you're taking 3 or 4 instead of 7. But I don't know. I mean, the Panthers and Falcons are totally rebuilding, so I get why you're wanting to win now. I mean, it's basically them or the Bucs. So.
Also, I'll say I think Mike Thomas is going to come back strong.
I do too. He's got to.
I don't think he's just going to like fizzle out. He's so young still.
He's 5 years, and also if he has a good year this year, rebuilds his value. If he wants out of New Orleans, he can rebuild his stock. So I think all that's fairly interesting. Another question. Chat's talking a lot of Major League Baseball. Asked us, what do y'all think about the Braves after winning the World Series? Their over-under's 91.5. Obviously, Acuna's back this year. Do y'all think And Soroka's back this year too. Who was out last year.
They're a contender for sure, big time contender. Because I think they did a great job. Even you lose a guy like Freeman, you get Matt Olson.
Oh, I think that was smart as hell.
You get a guy obviously like he's not Freeman, but his
He's 5 years younger.
His production, he's younger and he's cheaper, and his production isn't like insanely far off. It's less, but not way less.
They got a younger Freeman, pretty much. Like they got a guy who's gonna be like to get someone 5 years younger who's already killing it. Like I think they did
very forward-thinking move.
I think they did Freeman dirty because he brought him a championship, and they're like, all right, you're out, but. Still, they're gonna be fucking.
See,
really
the
good.
problem is though, like I agree with you because I'm just like my fandom is loyal, but at the same time,
it's a very New England Patriots.
That's what I was gonna say. Is sometimes that almost is like the smart move instead of like giving the legend that's kind of like the Angels Pools contract.
Yeah.
Or like if you give Freeman a 10-year deal, like by year 6, 7 he's not gonna be living up to that money.
Well, yeah, I'm saying give him a 4-year deal and he'll be fine. It's fucking Freddie Freeman.
See, when you get the guarantee, like they want as long as possible.
Yeah.
Looking for the contract that's going to end his career.
Looking around the rest of the East, obviously, y'all got opinions on this because the Yankees-Mets battle stuff. What do y'all think happens with the Mets this year? Obviously, they're hyped to the moon again, like they always are.
Already in the shitter.
Are they?
DeGrom isn't ready.
For a while.
Scherzer will be game 2, I think.
Yeah.
Where it's like they're already in shambles. So I don't think they're gonna be good. But I don't.
The lineup's good still.
I don't think their lineup is like so deep that like everyone says. It's good.
It's solid. I know that they got a solid baseball team. The problem with the Mets is it's the same thing every year. Like where all of a sudden now like Steve Cohen, or not every year, but that Steve Cohen's the manager, the owner now. They think they're spending all this money making all these moves that they wouldn't have made 3 years ago, for example. And I'm still sitting here in the seat, remembering Frank sitting there, KFC coming in here laughing in our faces, and then they were fucking awful.
Worse.
Awful down the stretch. Their bullpen's bad. And I don't know. I think they're going to be in the mix for a while. I just don't trust them.
Yeah.
They're just not a team I trust.
They always just seem like they're a hype.
In September, in October. I don't trust them.
Okay. Looking around, do y'all have any other sleeper teams? We talked about Detroit. Are there any other sleeper teams y'all like?
So I actually made a little list, actually.
Right, let's hear it. I'm curious what you think. I mean, the Giants can't win that many games again this year. There's literally no way.
So I took this more as teams that I took the approach teams that I think are going to exceed expectations.
Okay.
So the Tigers are the top. I have the Mariners. So the Mariners kind of exceeded. They were lucky to be as good as they were last year. I think they had they almost made the playoffs. They had a minus 40 run differential. But they just made so many good signings that I just think they signed Winker, Suarez, they signed Robbie Ray. They signed who was the other guy they signed? I'm forgetting. They signed Adam Frazier. We talked about with Smitty yesterday. The Marlins are a team that I think are going to be a little better.
I like them.
They got the pitching.
Flash
they got the pitching back, like Joey Wendell.
People are always off them too.
Soler. A sneaky team that I think people are because they're kind of full rebuilding, but I think they're going to be a lot better. The Cubs.
Okay.
I think that last year they showed a lot of good young bats in the lineup. They signed the guy Suzuki. They have Stroman. Got a little better pitching. I think they're going to be better than people think.
I can see that.
And then another team that I think is just kind of due for a bounce back that people thought was going to be good last year and they were terrible is the Twins. I think the Twins are going to be better than people think because I think they're so out on them.
I was just looking at their roster. The Twins,
they got bats.
They got Correa. Urshela I think is going to actually play pretty well for him. I'm not saying
Gary will probably hit.
He'll probably hit
home runs.
I mean, I think that Luke Voigt's going to be awesome on the Padres. I can tell you that.
You think he just needs to change the scenery?
I just think they needed someone to believe in him.
Yeah, he's such a good hitter. We just kind of didn't have the way our team was structured. We just couldn't fit him in every day because he can only play first base. We just have to. The infield was too stacked where LeMahieu was having to play first base so much he needs to be in the lineup, and that was putting Voit in a weird spot where Stanton's got a DH and then we had Sanchez in the mix, so it kind of just was tough for him.
What's going on with Tatis? Isn't he out for a few months because the motorcycle
I think
stuff?
2 or 3 months.
3 months, yeah.
Motorcycle stuff. That's a poor little.
Tough.
That is a
really shitty.
Nah, yeah, I hate. Gotta definitely hate that. Maybe if he'd have had some body armor on him, he wouldn't have gotten hurt. There you go. The big tournament took a lot out of us, but we made it through by staying hydrated with Body Armor Edge. For the makings of our favorite sports drink, Body Armor Edge has 100 milligrams of caffeine and 1,000 milligrams of electrolytes to keep you going through another crazy tournament or even 162-game, never-ending Major League Baseball season. Plus, it's got antioxidants, B vitamins, and no artificial sweeteners, flavors, or dyes. It's more than a sports drink. It's Body Armor Edge. They just came out with 2 new flavors, Strawberry Slam and Watermelon Wave. Recover from the highs and lows of the tournament with our favorite sports drink plus caffeine, Body Armor Edge. Find Body Armor Edge at 7-Eleven or order on Amazon. Feel like everybody, what's the vibe been like? It feels like everybody's been struggling from New Orleans a little bit.
Yeah. Did
you get real wild in NOLA, Marty?
So I actually didn't because I went out on
Saw you Friday, obviously.
Friday night's the only night I went out. I went to Hogs, and then I went to Bourbon Street, and that's when it got crazy. And then Saturday, Duke lost, so it was miserable, so I just went to bed. And then I kind of was miserable the rest of the weekend. So
I personally, it's funny the being 38 thing because I'll turn it up some, but then I have to dial it back. Dude, after y'all left at Hogs, the Friday late night at Hogs thing, Manny Fresh and Juvenile played till like 2:30 a.m. and it was just slammed and rocking at this tent. That after that, everybody came to our tent because we had a DJ with like a light show. Literally ended at 4 a.m.
Oh, wow.
So I got home at 4, and then Saturday we had to get up and I had to be there at 10:30 to run the thing all day. Everybody was dragging ass. PFT, we met at Lucy's. PFT was like, I went to Frenchman Street one time in 13 or 14, which is like the locals Bourbon Street where all the good music is. It's like, screw it, I'll go with you to Frenchman Street, PFT. And we came in at 3. I hadn't been out till 4 a.m. and 3 a.m. back to back and forever. I went to bed at 7 p.m. Sunday night. Yep. I was so wiped out from Friday and Saturday. But then I got to have an experience Monday. Shout out. I know you had fun at the walk-on show, dude. We had huge turnouts Friday and Monday at walk-ons. Also, thanks to Canes and High Noon for sponsoring. But I've never been to a national championship game. I got like a free upper deck ticket, so I'm sitting in the 600 level. Where'd you sit for Duke Carolina, by the way?
We were like the 300, so shout out Game Time. Game Time got me there. It was awesome. Yeah.
So anyway, I'm sitting at 611, like 20 rows up. It's decent seats. I mean, you're high up, but it was still cool. And then my buddies are in 111, and they're like, dude, we have 2 seats by us that are like 10 rows behind Paul Pierce in the middle of the Kansas section available. So, I mean, I ended up like 10th row in the middle of all the Kansas fans for that comeback Saturday, Monday. And it was nuts when they made that run, man. I mean, it was like Paul Pierce, the Morris twins, Drew Gooden, Eric Chenoweth. They were all just like right in front of me.
Did you see that Bill Self gave the hat to Dotson?
I didn't see that.
Remember Dotson?
What, a championship hat?
Yeah, remember the 2020 team? Dotson was on.
Oh, yeah, when they didn't get to play because they were number 1 then.
Yeah, and he gave him the hat because he felt bad.
Man.
I read something that he just like came in the locker room after or something.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, Kansas worthy champ. You got to give them credit. The Elite 8, they were down 6 to Miami at the half, like 35-29, and they outscored them like 47-15 in the second half. And this game down 40-25 at half, and that comeback, I mean, that's the heart of a champion, man. You know, they came back in two spots and really turned it up when it was on the line. I mean, they deserved it. I don't know. I had Carolina money line, but at least I had the +4. So
I had Carolina +4. I had a future on them too. Like before they played UCLA, that would have been nice. But no, I mean Kansas was the best team. They're the most consistent team probably all year. They're the most complete team.
Well, I was just glad, like I said, to hear the reviews. Everybody loved New Orleans. New Orleans has a college football playoff semifinal, not this year, but next year, and it's got the Super Bowl in 2025. COVID really was bad on NOLA. I mean, it was bad everywhere, but it was really bad on New Orleans because it's like all tourism and restaurants and stuff. So it feels like the city, the energy and vibe are back. And then Dave Portnoy tweeting he kind of fell in love with NOLA. I was not upset to hear that in the least. All right, we can go ahead and run through some picks before we get out of here. And we'll talk about some more in a minute. Picks for today, I went ahead and put a couple Masters futures in. I also put Tigers over 78.5 wins in because by the time tomorrow starts, I don't know if some of the stuff will already be going on. I took Sam Burns 35-1 because I'm a homer, and he's been really hot. I took him 7-1 to get top 5. I took DJ as my big name at 16-1. I feel like the Suns may kind of like take a night off tonight. They beat the Lakers by 11 last night. They're on the road at the Clippers getting 2. They've already clinched the 1 seed. I don't know. It just looks like a schedule loss a little bit to me. And then in college baseball, Liberty and Virginia are playing. Virginia's number 3 in the country. I'm taking under 12.5 in that game. So that's my picks for today.
Yeah, I just got NBA today. I already said I got the Pistons plus 8.5. They're just on fire right now as dogs. Like I said, they covered 17-0-2 against the spread the last 19. I'm on the Knicks plus 5 at home. Their Nets are on a back-to-back. They just kind of play. The Nets are kind of like they weirdly always. I feel like the games for the Nets are the Knicks are always super competitive. So I'll take
5 in the Garden.
I'll take the 5. They're like 5 for the Nets seems a little too easy. So I'm taking the Knicks plus 5. And I agree with you, Mitzi. I'm on the Clippers. I think grabbed the money line minus like 118. I think like earlier this morning. It just seemed like just smelly line, just ratty line. I'll take.
I just don't know what the Suns are playing. You know, they hate the Lakers, and getting to eliminate the Lakers and body bag them is great. But this one, now they're traveling on a back-to-back. I mean, I know they're 63-15, but, like, I don't see how this game
Clippers have been playing pretty well lately, too.
Yeah, the Clippers beat the crap out of the Pels Sunday. Marty, what you got?
I'm on the Nets tonight.
Okay. RE is looking good.
Yeah, I got Pistons plus 8.5 because they're hot, and I got the Bulls plus 7.5. The Bulls, are they getting exposed for not being
Lonzo's out. Lonzo out for the playoffs now.
I almost want to take the Celtics.
I was thinking about the Celtics too because I saw 7.5, and I was like,
So I know a stat that I read, like the Bulls they're horrible as underdogs.
Yeah.
I think the one stat I read, I think it might have been on the sportsbook actually, was that they're like 1-11 their last 12 covering the spread as dogs. I might end up adding the
Bulls this year, classic example of like sports. It's all about peaking at the right time. Remember when they were the 1 seed in like December and January? But it just feels like they totally hit their peak.
Also, the thing with them is too, I think they've kind of become exposed late in the year as a team that they beat up on bad teams when they play good teams. They just like last night, like they got beat up by the Bucks at home. Mm-hmm. They're back at home today. They're catching 7.5.
That's a lot. The Celtics have been. How good do you think this? I mean, the Celtics 10-1 now. I mean, they've been on fire down the stretch.
They're a team that I want to be like. I really hope for. I mean, I don't really give a fuck about the Celtics. Kind of like fuck the Celtics, but for their sake, if you're a Celtics fan, I mean, I would want no part of the Nets in the first round.
No.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But they're a team that I definitely think is capable of making that run and like being in the finals.
Seedings in the East versus like who could win are nuts this year because like. You know, I know a lot of people like the Heat made the finals in the COVID year, and they're so like unflashy and unsexy, but they're just a damn good, well-coached team that plays D, and you got guys like Butler that are winners. You know,
they match up with the Bucks well.
Yeah, the length. Remember they gave a lot of. Remember that playoffs they gave.
They lost.
Their length gave Giannis trouble.
Because that's the thing. I feel like the Bucks match up pretty well with the Celtics. I feel like, but not as well with the Heat, which is weird. Because I think the Celtics are probably a better team than the Heat right now. I mean, it's close, but that East is all just so jumbled
exactly.
up.
And that's why the seedings mean nothing.
That's why I just keep going back to the Bucks. I just trust them the most.
Yeah, it feels like the Bucks Suns could be coming out west. Like, who do you think is the best challenger to Phoenix? Because it's been like a lot of teams have just kind of imploded and fallen off.
That's what a while ago I had said the Warriors. I'm not as bullish on them anymore with the Curry injury, obviously. Because like part of me would want to say like I mean, the Grizzlies have been the most consistent team even without Ja, but I really just don't. I just don't see them beating the Suns this year.
Hey, Big F, you haven't said much about your boy Justin Fields. What's going
on?
What side are you on? You on
I talked to Jerry about it that day.
I wasn't here, so
we had a phone call. Well, we haven't talked about it.
Okay, I heard people. Big Cat was talking about it at Walk On.
So Jerry called me because when he tweeted the video, I texted him and I said, "What did my sweet prince Justin Fields do to you?" He called me like 10 minutes later. We had a nice little chat. He was at like an autograph event where they like you're there, you take pictures, you sign autographs. Like there's jerseys to buy, memorabilia, stuff like that. So he knew. Obviously, Jerry's a little plugged in, so he was. I think like basically behind the scenes, like where like no people were at, where I think he had essentially.
Someone did pay for him to be there, but it was behind the scenes where there was it was a VIP.
He was in the VIP area where like they've been taking pictures and stuff all day. Where like you're back to basically saying, all right, like we're done. And then Jerry, I guess I'll take Jerry's word. I don't think Jerry's a liar by any means, so I take him at his word. That he basically went up to him and said, "Hey, Justin, like you might like take a picture." And then he kind of just wasn't super receptive to it. He just kind of gave him like a eye roll. Yeah, I guess.
Oh,
He did take the picture. He wasn't.
Body language was poor.
Body language was poor. Wasn't super excited about it. I'm going to listen, I love Jerry. Like I said, I don't think Jerry's lying at all. I believe his story 100%. I think maybe he's having a bad day. Maybe he's just kind of over it. Maybe he just kind of been doing it all day, and then it kind of was just like one more. I don't know. I guess Jerry had also mentioned that he had kind of said in between. I guess it was taking a little bit to like get the pictures taken. Something was wrong with the person's phone. It was taken or something. And then I think Jerry mentioned that he might have made a comment just like kind of that he just was like over taking pictures for the day. He still took the picture.
So Jerry is like
Jerry's very
going
like
to war. He's going to war. He had so many tweets ready to go.
Oh, he told me a couple that I was like, don't do that. I was like,
did he talk about the torn ACLs again?
No, it wasn't even that.
I won't.
There was a lot.
He made some comments to me last night that I was like, or yesterday I was like, Jerry.
Yeah, let's not post it.
Let's take it easy.
But he's going to scorch earth on the Chicago guys, and I'm just.
He wants war with just the city of Chicago.
Oh yeah, that's what he said. I heard.
Even the office. He wants
Carl, everybody,
all
of them.
White Sox, Dave, Eddie. He wants the entire office, but hey, it's not my team, so Dale Jones would have asked him for a picture.
Probably. Listen. I love Fields as my guy. I'm a Fields rider. I'll speak it like this. I don't know. I know a lot of guys that he played with pretty well, and they all swear he's a great guy. I'm going to chalk it up that he was just having a bad day. Caught him in. I don't think you should judge somebody on their lowest moment. I'll put it like that.
It is a weird thing, and like
I think he caught him in a bad day, bad spot. He reacted poorly. Jerry's a good guy. Your fans treat the guys with respect. He didn't have to roll his eyes. He didn't have to say, I guess. He could have just said, yeah, sure. I'll chalk it up at that.
It's a weird thing, and like I'm still getting used to it. I know Marty, I was with you in Oxford. I mean, you get freaking when you're out in public, you get just the train. I mean, I'm inclined to forgive athletes a little bit on that. Like for me, it's still like honeymoon because I'm 16, 17 months in this. Man, I'll take a million pictures. I don't care. I'm just glad people like want to take pictures with me.
Oh yeah.
But when you're like Justin Fields,
first of all, if anyone here doesn't like that, you're an ass.
Yeah,
for sure.
But like if you're Justin Fields though, and you were the #1 high school quarterback recruit, since it's like sophomore or junior year of high school, it's been like that.
Oh yeah.
I mean, this has been going on for like 7 or 8 years now, and so I'm not saying he has to like big time, but like that's a long time of dealing with that kind of public eye and stuff, and so I'm inclined to just like understand it a little bit. You know what I mean?
I will always never understand it is because whenever I'm with Dave, the man fucking
every picture
never says no.
Every picture.
And he gets mobbed.
Oh, yeah.
It's like if Dave's saying yes, you should be able to say yes.
That's 100%.
No, I agree.
Because most people like people I do feel like Justin Bieber or something, that's a bit much.
Well, the people that you literally
like
you leave your house and they're getting fucking
and picture like by paparazzi.
Like even if you listen to it, was funny because it just popped in my feed the other day and I watched it on YouTube. Like when Zac Efron went up TMT and he talked about when he was like High School Musical time.
Yes,
like he would leave his house to go to like CVS. And there would be a fucking platoon of cars and cameras that would just follow him going to the store.
Yeah, he said he would just stay at his house all the time.
He just stopped. He like couldn't leave his house because he would do literally anything. Go grab some McDonald's. Like just go do normal shit.
Wow. Well, the Barstool thing, with our thing, it's all about like we are like the common person, and so like anytime I meet people or any of us interact, like these people are going to remember meeting us, and so I always want it to be positive.
Sure.
You don't want to have that negative energy. Even just one gets rippled through a ton of their friends and it gets out so and so. You don't want that.
Yeah.
No, I just feel I'd say I feel greatly appreciative. So I just look in the mirror. I'm like, who the fuck wants to take a picture of me? And we go out on the road or go to a bar and a bunch of people coming up. I'm like, this is crazy.
No, yeah, you have to be an asshole if you work here. You're like, not today. They're not even a sponsor today, but I'm going to say it. Raising Cane's.
Oh yeah, I should have a shout out.
Wild.
It's fucking awesome.
Dude, we worked like.
How was that? I wanted to ask about that.
I had the most fun I've ever had. I was on the mic. I was at the register. I had some guy told me his girlfriend left him that morning. We shared bread together. It was so fun. And that guy Todd
Graves, yeah, Baton Rouge. He's from Baton Rouge.
He doesn't franchise. He owns every single one of them.
Oh yeah, dude. He's a Baton Rouge. When I went to that St. Patty's Day parade in Baton Rouge, he helped throw that. He flew Nelly in on his private jet and had Nelly play Baton Rouge. This dude balls on like an insane level, but gives a ton back to Baton Rouge. He's like just turned 50. Great. Great reputation.
Raising Cane's, it's not like a Southern thing too. Like in Ohio, it is a staple.
Yeah.
Like there's
Columbus is like a tester fast food market. So Columbus gets that stuff
in
fast.
Columbus, I'm pretty sure on just like the main campus area, there's like 2 or 3. Like there's like there's like one on each side of campus, and I think there's another one kind of like in the middle too.
I gotta get
Built a
one.
new one.
I gotta get
Go
one
ahead.
plug in real fast. Coin Boys tonight.
Yes,
9
I
to
saw it.
11. If you bet $50 on Divine Fortune and bet $50 on Blackjack, Big Ev, I expect you to just do this for me because you're gonna do it anyway.
Yeah, I actually had a nice run last night.
$50 on Divine Fortune, $50 on Blackjack, and you would get $25 in casino bonus cash. All you gotta do is opt in. But yeah, we'll be live 9 to 11 tonight.
Hell yeah. Well, good. Enjoy that. Also, last thing before the shout out, I want to shout out what the Tennessee baseball team has done. I don't know if y'all realize this, guys. They're 28-1 and they're 9-0 in the SEC.
28.
They're having
29 games.
people are saying it's the greatest start in college baseball history. They swept Ole Miss and Oxford and Vandy and Nashville, who were both top 5 on the road.
I'm guessing they're number 1.
Oh yeah, they're easily number 1.
Surely they'll win it all.
Well, that's the thing with college baseball.
That's what Tennessee does.
I know, but it's just like crazy. Like their start they're off to is like literally one of the damnedest things I've ever seen in any sport. Za, TJ, appreciate all you guys. TJ, I know had a blast in New Orleans. I got to kick it with him some. I love seeing him get to experience that. Stay tuned. The Yak is up next. We'll be back tomorrow, Major League Baseball opening day. Don't forget, get your Masters bets in and get your Major League Baseball futures bets in tonight because once things get going tomorrow, you can still do it, but you'll have to do it live. Yak up next. Great to kick it with Evan Marty. Stay tuned for it.